Hello there, this is Big Benedict. We're playing Metal Gear Rising, and this is my guide for Revengeance difficulty. We're playing on the PC at full specs, and we're on file R-02. We have a fight here with a Mastiff, who can instantly kill you with one of his jumping attacks. Now, this surprisingly doesn't take too much damage off. I have been hit by him. I've been instantly killed. I have been hit by him, put at the threshold of death because he's taken off anywhere from 90 to 95% of my health. Whenever they have that little sign over them with the Zandatsu icon, that indicates that that appendage that it's pointing to, which can be really hard to find or to figure out where it is amidst all this, the bouncing nature of the enemies when they're moving around so much. That means that whatever appendage the sign is pointing to, that can be cut off. And I think it might have to do with what area you've damaged them, and beyond that, I don't know what compels it to get triggered in that regard. The sliders aren't too bad. They're airborne enemies, as you can see. Sometimes they'll have enemies latched onto them and firing at you, and kind of an annoyance, but they're not as bad as they could be, for sure. And then we'll come over here, and we have another grad in our way, and we have a Mastiff to the right. So what I was doing was I was trying to just see if I could kill the grad. And well, first of all, I was seeing if my attacking the grad would make too much noise, and that if the Mastiff would hear him, but it doesn't. See, we're having a full-out war out here, and the Mastiff is staying in the hall where I know he is. But with these enemies here, you just want to be striking them as quickly as you can, and waiting for them to do. If you see the problem with this enemy is that if there's too much empty space in between you and him, he'll start firing the gun, and he'll also start firing homing rockets. So if you close in the distance and hit him right where he is, you'll be able to parry his attacks and just hit him with light strikes and do your combos on him. And surprisingly, he gets into the stupor status pretty quickly and easily, and then you could proceed to finish him off. It takes a couple of Zandatsus, which I'm absolutely horrible at because there's always some part of me that suffers in a game, and it's okay. But right here, I was trying to test if I could just jump down. I was still going to take the Mastiff out for the battle points. That's what the BP means. But I was just trying to see if there was a barrier there, and there is. So you have to take out both enemies. As far as the stealth goes in this game, it is absolutely no different from normal. There's no difference. You still cannot ninja run and execute a Mastiff because they will hear. I just tested it. It doesn't work. So what you want to do is stand in this corner and wait for him to do his path to the center of the room, and then we'll take him out. That's the only enemy in this game that I know of that you have to walk up to. And even Raiden's walk is pretty fast. I have no problems. I complained a lot in Arkham Asylum when I did that guide about the mandatory holding down not only the analog but the X button to run. But in this game, you're actually running pretty fast. You're not doing a walk at 1 millimeter per hour like Batman. But still, I don't really mind holding the right trigger down. So when you come down here, we're going to be doing a lot of stealth in this section. This is an annoying section here. You've got two enemies with rocket launchers, and then you've got I don't know what these call. I'm just going to be calling them little shits. I do like to call enemies by their correct name, and I do have the bestiary right in front of me on my phone. But that enemy to me is just junk and irrelevant. So you've got the cyborgs here. What I would recommend is to throw a couple of red phosphorus grenades into this tunnel area here first, and then run all the way down and spawn all these guys, get the warning light, and then bring them back here. You can get them grouped up together with the pornography statue if you want to, and you could proceed to kill them, but it's actually a waste of a statue, so I wouldn't even do it. Or hologram, I'm sorry about that. So just you know what? I did like that in the Legend of Korra there was a relic that you can equip so that you would not get stunned. And it made the game really a lot more enjoyable to me than it was. And I don't know why I stopped playing that game. I guess I just didn't care for it too much. Maybe there was something else. I think I was wanting to play The Evil Within. But I don't believe that there's anything in this game so that you can not have that icon where you have to waggle the analog stick. It would really be nice if there was something like that. And part of me does kind of feel that if I had that on there, it would feel like cheating. But another part of me would also say that, you know, this is something that you absolutely hate. And, you know, why not just increase your enjoyment by equipping something like that? So the one enemy that we're going to be doing a lot of stealth in this section, and the stealth in this game, as I mentioned, it's the same as in the normal. There's nothing tweaked about it, which I really appreciate. So we're going to jump down here, have a cutscene, and this could be this is a dual Fenrir battle with these enemies here. You see, I really have no problems with using an upgraded sword. Like I mentioned in the first video, I went through this campaign. I got all the way to the final level before it dawned on me through experimenting and looking at the menus that you could actually upgrade your weapons. So I got all the way. I was playing on hard, mind you, which is hard for a new player on hard without even upgrading anything. And I'm only saying that because the game was extremely difficult doing chip damage to every enemy, especially those grads. So over here we've got a couple more mastiffs, I think 3 actually. So they'll be walking up on the catwalks and then they'll jump down. You've just got to watch out. This was a pretty close call. See, the camera fights you too when you're really close and hugging walls. So when you're Zandatsuing enemies, I'm pretty sure that time doesn't just cease for everybody else in the game, but I think it slows down the enemies so that to the point where, like, they're not frozen where they're at. I'm talking about the other enemies that are around when you're Zandatsuing certain enemies, but I do think they start walking more slowly. And the reason I suspect that is just because of the nature of the enemies and how they're reacting after I do the Zandatsu. And getting spared a lot of times when I'm coming out of that from getting seen. When if they were walking at normal speed, then they probably would have seen me. So we're going to wait for this guy to turn around. We're going to jump down. And all I can say is just don't ninja run up to them. They'll hear you. Okay, so the next enemy we're going to be doing, I had to look this up because I don't know the enemy names in this game, and I can't find the bestiary. So this enemy down here, immediately go to the wall and go into the cardboard box. And these guys are actually really fast, and they can be Zandatsu'd from the ground and from the air. So take this off and head over here. How this works is that, you see the flamethrowers on them? They will really burn you pretty bad if you're letting them use that. So they're like spider enemies, and they're very fast to catch up to. But we have 2. See, the nice thing about when you go into the Zandatsu mode is that you don't even have to move the analog stick. You just have to wait for it to fall into the box. It's nice. So we have 2 of these guys spawned originally, and see that fluctuating area in the wall to the left? That's where our goal is afterwards. So you'll have 2 of these guys, and look how hard it is for me to catch up to this guy. Oh, we have another one. Okay, so there's 2. There's always going to be 2 until the final one, when there's just 1. So there's 4 in total. There's 2 at first, and then when you kill one, another one will replace him. And then after you've killed one more, you'll have the final guy come in. Although I think the 4th spawn, the 4th spawner, I think he's individual. So I think you have to kill all 3 first, and then they'll drop one more in on you. So if you're on the 3rd enemy like I'm on now, they're not putting in another one to replace the one I just killed. See, there's only one red dot on the map on the right. But look how fast these guys are. And part of the problem is all of the animations that Raiden does coming out of the cardboard box. Watch this. See, all of these animations right here where I can't move. That's why I can't catch up to this guy. So what I would advise if you're having the same kind of issue is to just go up here, go into the box, wait for them to go under you, and then do an overhead Zandatsu after you lock onto them with the B button. So let me look up that name real quick. Okay, so these are the Votum Jerkas. I don't know why they're called that, but I can never figure that out. So there we go. So yeah, these are the Votum Jerkas. I'll have to remember that the next time we fight these guys. If we ever do. We probably do. So one more left. And I just think it's incredible that they let you do this. And I'm sure there's both camps of people who would both approve of this and frown on this. So, you know, I'm just gonna do what I enjoy because this is my guide. You know, even though you guys are all watching and it's essentially our guide, I'm the one that's producing it and playing the game. So I'm just gonna play it the way I want to. So just drop into the box and we'll wait for this guy to turn the corner. Really fast into me. That's what I'll say about these guys. So I just prefer the stealth. I like it. It's something that you wouldn't expect in a game like this. And this game is dangerously addictive, you guys. Like I feel bad. I really feel bad. And I had to block somebody who was being negative on my channel and saying like, you know, you're such a hypocrite for that you're now playing this after you've condemned this video or this game so many times and said that you'll never play this game. Yeah, I know about my nature in regards to that, but would you rather, if you did like this game, would you rather that I'm now playing it and be happy for me? No, they're not happy unless they're causing trouble. So we've got a couple of gun cameras in here. Dispatch these normally, or just jump over them if you'd rather not kill them. It's your choice. That looks suspiciously, that jump Y attack, it looks like the one that Dante does in Devil May Cry. I love the music in this game too. Especially on the Mistral boss fight, really excellent music. So one last one to take down. I also love when you're the little robot and you're running around the warehouse, which is coming up. It's so great. This actually took me a long time to figure out how to stealth this. I could not use the holograms. The Mastiffs up here. Okay, there's 3 Mastiffs, and there's also a Fenrir that we're gonna have to fight anyway because after we do this battle, there's Fenrirs and Cyborgs in a battle that's already spawned. So I'm gonna speed this up here. Because what happens is, you see the guy that's coming up the stairs, he was in the middle of the arena and he'll always come up here. So just make sure that you're in the box and you're going to have to fight the camera. Watch as the camera keeps turning around to the wall. See, I'm not doing that. The game is doing that because I'm too close to the wall. And it's trying to compensate for the enemy being there. So I failed this. I don't know why I can't do those. I'm not good at quick time events. And I really don't know what I'm gonna do on Armstrong when those quick times. I guess I'm just I'll just not do them. I'm talking about when he throws those, all the shit that he throws at you. You don't have to Zandatsu. You can just run from it. So I think I'll just do that. So what's gonna happen now is that one of these Mastiffs, when they get to the top portion by all those robots in the glass case, watch this guy right here. He's gonna stop. And I think they do this intentionally to enable the player to get this kill here. Because if he kept moving, this wouldn't be possible. But do you see how he stops? I threw no distraction there for him. I didn't throw the hologram. It's just that when they get to that middle part, they stop. And just mentally deliberate. I don't know what they do. These cyborgs, they have human brains inside them, but mechanical body parts. It's a really fascinating game. But we'll have to fight those in the next confrontation, which is mandatory. No stealth allowed. So hit the button right here. We'll do the next fight. Alright, so the next fight we have coming up, we have First of all, you want to do that move right there. I don't know what it's called. It's forward, forward, Y, though. That's the input. And it's just like the drive in Devil May Cry games. So we're going to have these two enemies. And as I mentioned in the previous encounter, you're spared having to fight a Fenrir, along with any Mastiffs that you don't stealth kill in the previous battle. Although I don't know what impact that has on this battle. I don't know, since I never completed the previous battle without doing complete stealth. I don't know if there's fewer Fenrirs here to fight. I do want to correct something real quick before I forget. The best way to save, actually, and rather than what I said before of going to the customize menu and leaving the customize menu, it's faster to just get whatever you want. You set up your loadout or whatever items you want. There's plenty of ways to grind for money in this game too. I'll tell you about the next one I have coming up. All you basically want to do though is press the select button and talk to Courtney, who will save your progress for you, but you have to endure a conversation, which can be expedited by just repeatedly pressing the Y button to skip the conversation. And whatever conversation it is, it's going to be related to what's going on in the mission at the time. So it's not that bad, actually, and it is faster than going to the customize menu and then going to another screen and having it to load. There are no loading. This game doesn't load. It's wonderful. I mean, once you die, I love this section, by the way. I love coming back here, and we're going to be coming back here in a second, and we're going to be, you can Zandatsu all the guys that you take out with this thing. This 3-arm piece of shit. But anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, no loading times in this game. I recently upgraded I now have an NVIDIA card. I got one for Christmas, and I only had to pay half for it. So I have it was like a $300 video card, and I also put some new fans in my rig, some better ones, and I also increased about a larger. Well, it wasn't larger. It was the same size. I bought a bigger power supply, so I have the 750 watt one wouldn't fit in my rig, so now I have a 600 watt power supply, and everything's going well for my computer. And the fan noise is just noise. I mean, this game, it hardly makes any noise, but I was thinking to myself whenever I hear noise in my computer, like fan noise, I have to think to myself, the consoles make just as much noise. Like the PS4 is loud. I hate the PS. Like I haven't played the consoles in a long damn time, and I don't think I'll ever buy an Xbox One until they slim that thing down, because it's just too huge. But I just been really a lot. I've been playing PC games because I bought that new video card, and it's wonderful. So let's see, if you want to know which one it is, just if you want to know that for some reason, I'll look it up right now. Let's see, hurry up. It is a... Oops. Come on. Are we on a very intensive fight? No, this part, okay. I have a EVGA GeForce GTX 760, 4 gigabytes of VRAM, and it's a great card. It's an NVIDIA product, so I'm very happy with my purchase. I wouldn't pay $300 for a video card, but like I mentioned, I only had to pay half of that, plus I got a $30 rebate too. So this fight here, we have a grad. So you use the defensive offensive to back away when he does his unblockable push. And then this fight over here, I died about 20 times. And a lot of these fights I use, I fucked this battle up. I mean, I got fucked up so many times over here, but finally I got in one without having to use any nano paste. So these grads here, that move that they did right there is parryable. So what I did was I parried that, and he was at such a point of his low life that I had the Y and B prompt, and then it affected this one over here, so I ended up starting to cut this one. And then watch this over here. You want to closing in the distance is the best thing to do. Is forward Y, and then move the camera, center it by pressing that. That's a okay. So the first thing he did right there, the first thing was a throw, was a grab or a push, unblockable, unparryable, and then the second thing he did, as you can see, was a parry. So I got in that parry, and I took a little bit of chip damage over there, but that's a hard fight. Okay, so we're done with that battle, and I didn't mean to brag back there about how I fucked our room up, and just I just realized that we're on the last encounter. So there's 2 hammerhead enemies over there and another cyborg. So if you come over here, I think that they could probably squeeze through over to the right, but they don't seem to do it. And the cyborg might actually throw a grenade over here, but they will eventually become neutralized. And it's a great thing when a bunch of enemies are walking towards, like just like this, they'll all neutralize, and you can take them out one by one. It plays out in many a scenario in this game, so they don't even hear it either. It doesn't matter how close they are to one another, but it's fantastic. It works every time. It's wonderful. I will be showing how to defeat the hammerheads. I think they're the first time we're dealing with them in the game. We're doing it stealthily, but the only thing you should know about those guys is that you cannot counterattack them. They resist counterattacks. But that's the end of the video. Take care, you guys. I'll see you in file R-3.